It is about time I gave you guys another update on Prim. I was really excited to see this morning that I had a few new baby killdeer out in the arena. Prim has been acting so much more like herself now that she's bred. We are in the very early days and I actually took her yesterday to get another checkup.
Come on, girl.
One of my plans with Prim is to turn her out with Scarlet and Ziggy in maybe 2 more weeks. I have been taking her on little walks every day just to keep her from going crazy. I think these 3 are probably going to get along just fine.
Hi, Zig.
For any of you guys that are just catching up, this is Prim. She is a 6-year-old quarter horse.
Prim.
For the last couple of years, she's been having really terrible cycles. After several evaluations by multiple vets, we decided that at this point, the best thing for her would be to go ahead and let her have a baby. We are really hoping that this will give her some kind of relief. I don't really breed any horses, but Prim was struggling so much that this is really considered a medical intervention for her. I didn't want to use just any old stallion for Prim, so I spent a lot of time picking out the perfect boyfriend for her. These are a few of his little swimmers. We did use frozen semen, so this is just a little test dot after it was thawed. I was really hopeful that this would finally allow Prim to get some relief. And after 2 weeks, we did find out that she was indeed bred. The first ultrasound is typically to make sure there is a viable embryo and then also that there are no twins. After 2 weeks, it's still kind of bouncing around in there, and yesterday would have been around 30 days, so we did go in and get another check. This is a very important check because we can see the little heart beating right in the middle there. Thankfully, we are now done with the most stressful part of breeding a horse. I did see a little bit of a change in Prim at the around 2-week mark, but now as she goes along, she is getting more and more back to her normal self. At this point in time, it should be smooth sailing until our next check. I'm not sure when I'm going to have that done. You can do a 3-month check and maybe see the sex of the foal, but I don't know that I'm going to do that. At this point, it is about the size of a pea, and really we don't have to do another check until around month 5. But if everything goes as planned, the baby should be coming into the world around May 17th, 2026. Something that has happened over the last couple of weeks since I started turning Ziggy and Scarlet out together is that Ziggy has no interest in Scarlet anymore. He does get a little bit annoyed when they're apart, but he doesn't seem to really enjoy her company as much as he once did. I know a lot of you guys are curious as to Prim's baby daddy, so I'm going to give you a little bit of insight into why I picked the stallion I did. When I very first purchased Prim, I had no idea she was registered. She went through grade at a loose sale. It was only later that I found out that she was a registered quarter horse. Today, American quarter horses excel at multiple different disciplines. Originally, these horses were bred to do all of the work needed to get done on a ranch. Prim has some pretty interesting lineage. She is foundation bred, so she does have Red Man in her pedigree as well as Joe Hancock. I think she may have gotten her beautiful color from Harlan, and she also traces back to Poco Bueno. Jessie James is another famous foundation quarter horse that is in her pedigree, as well as Plaudit. And this was something I kept in mind when I was picking her out the perfect boyfriend. If you guys have been watching my channel for a while, you know that I love little brown cow ponies. But for Prim, I decided on this jet black stallion named Wicked Pretty. He is also a registered quarter horse with foundation lines going back to Joe Reed, Wimpy. He also has King. Some more modern names on his pedigree are Topsail Wiz, as well as Hollywood Jack 86. He actually looks quite a lot like Prim, although he is much darker. His sire has won over $100,000 in the reigning pen. He has a really solid top side, so I think this will be the perfect match for Prim. Prim has struggled for quite a while, so I have picked a few boyfriends for her out over the years.
What are you three doing?
Because I do live relatively far away from a lot of the big name sires, it did help that this guy had frozen semen stored in Montana. While people do still offer live cover, I wanted to give Prim the best chance of not getting hurt. You guys know I do have a stallion on the property, and I did use Nigel a little bit in the beginning to make sure that Prim was ready to breed. If I was on a big breeding operation, Nigel would be the perfect teaser stallion. I do think that the addition to Prim to this little herd is going to be beneficial to Scarlet. I've never seen her groom with Ziggy. He just gets a little bit annoyed with her every time she tries.
Zig!
I'm not quite sure what Ziggy's deal is. He has found it pretty difficult to make his own friends. A part of me wants to toss him back out with the boys and put all of the girls together. But that is a decision I'm going to have to stew on a bit longer. With Prim now in foal and seeming a lot more comfortable, I can get back in with her training. I think I'm going to give her 2 more weeks though, just so that little tiny pea inside of her can do a bit more growing. Because this will be her first foal, there is a little bit of training that I'll have to do with her just to get her ready for a baby in case anything goes awry. I do have Prim's genetic testing back, but I'm thinking I might do a color code test on her as well. Right now, there is the possibility that the baby will come out bay, buckskin, black, smoky black, palomino, or my favorite, sorrel. While I would just like a nice healthy baby, it might be fun to whittle the color list down a little bit by getting Prim tested. They can usually do that test pretty quickly, so I think I'll pull some hair tonight and send it off, and in a couple of days I should get those results back.
Zig. Come to me, Zig.
I have lots of very exciting things to look forward to in the future. I've been extra busy lately with some pretty big scheming going on.
Big.
Nothing is set in stone yet, but hopefully in a few months I will be able to share with you guys what I've been spending so much of my time on lately.
Boys.
Thank you guys so much for watching, and stay tuned for the next video.